Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I've just been messaged some news that I can't believe. I can't believe, and I hope it's not true. I seen an interview with Hearn as well. Apparently, Amir Khan is looking to evoke the rematch clause and fight Kell Brook again for the second time. Firstly, before I get into the video, I'm going to say this, that I don't really want to start speculating. But I am going to talk on the assumption if this is true. But what I will say is this, let's not believe too much yet. We've not heard Amir Khan come out and say in a video, or Amir Khan say himself on one of his accounts, right, that he's looking to take this rematch. We've heard Hearn. We've also heard his brother put out something on his Instagram. But remember, sometimes as a family, that fight meant a lot to them. They wouldn't want to lose to Kell Brook. So sometimes your brother might want you to do something, an event, something that you might not want to do. Because at the end of the day, the way I look at it, until Amir Khan comes out and says that he wants to fight with Kell Brook, right, or wants to rematch, I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. So the video that I'm going to do is on an assumption that it's true that he wants the rematch. But I don't, like I said, from the interview that I saw after the fight, the first fight, there's no way that he looked a guy that wanted to take the rematch. He said, I fell out of love with the sport. I haven't got it any, kind of alluding to the fact that I don't have it anymore. My timing was off and all of that. I don't have it anymore. I don't have that what I used to have. And that was quite clear to see. But I want to talk about if this is true and he does decide to evoke, or he does decide to, invoke his rematch clause. Firstly, we heard today, I made a video about Kell Brook and Conor Benn. And it looks to me that, Conor Benn's come out and said that Kell Brook wants 10 million. So it obviously sees that Kell Brook is not serious about fighting Conor Benn, because there's no way he's going to get 10 million to fight Conor Benn. It's just not a big enough fight. But little did I know that there's rumors going about this Khan rematch, and Kell Brook's probably thinking about a field day, because he's probably hoping that Khan invokes that rematch clause, because he's probably thinking another easy payday and another easy win. All I'm going to say is this. I've been a massive Amir Khan fan over the years, and I don't want to see Amir Khan fight anymore. And that's coming from a guy that's grown up watching him, got into the sport because of him. I don't want to see him fight anymore because he hasn't got what he used to have. He's completely past his best as a fighter. And I don't want to see him get hurt. I saw him at the press conference bleeding from his ear, and unfortunately, Kell Brook's not a very big puncher. So what's going to happen is Kell Brook's going to be hitting him with a lot of shots, and Amir Khan's just going to be taking punishment after punishment after punishment, because Brook can't punch. We've seen that in the fight. He hit him with about 1,000 flush shots, and Khan didn't go down once. And Amir Khan was never known for being the best shot taker. So that's going to happen again, All the Brook fanboys coming on my channel and saying, oh, you're hating on Kell Brook, you're not giving him credit and this, that, and the other. The fact that the public perceived it as a 50-50 fight is irrelevant, because we all know that both of them were shot to bits, right? It was just a fight that would show us who's more shot to bits, right? If that was a competitive fight and Kell Brook, right, went down, got back up, then fair enough. But it was so one-sided, and you could clearly see that Khan was so past his best, way more past his best. But I've had so many Brook fans and fanboys. And the thing is, they call me a fanboy, yet I predicted that Kell Brook would win the fight. Go watch my prediction video. I said Kell Brook is going to win. But some of these people are so delusional. They come onto my channel. You don't like listening to me, don't listen to me. If you think I'm biased, then don't listen to what I have to say. If I'm that biased, you don't have to listen to it. The point I'm trying to make is I say things that I believe. I don't say things that I don't believe, right? I say things that I believe, right? I'm not sitting here and saying, well, Brook, yeah, he's I'm saying Brook will beat him again because that's what I believe. And he'll beat him just like he did last time. But when I say Brook's not a big puncher, I'm telling you he's not a big puncher. Because who's he knocked down? Who's he knocked out of any kind of level throughout his career? And the last fight should have told you that he hit him with about 3,000 flush shots on the chin, never went down once. So that's my opinion, right? And for me, that's dangerous because Khan's got no legs under him. He's wobbling, with every shot. And I'm a massive Khan fan. It hurts me saying this, but he's wobbling with every shot. It's dangerous in there. I don't want to see Amir Khan fight again. I really don't. And like I said, I'm the biggest fan. I used to enjoy watching his fights in his prime. I used to love watching him, his offensive boxing ability in his prime. He used to be a pleasure to watch. It's no longer that. It's very difficult to watch him now because he can no longer glide in and out like he used to. This isn't about what would have happened in their primes or what would have happened, and the Brook fanboys coming on and saying he would have battered Khan in his prime. I don't care about that. If you believe that Brook would have done that, then obviously Brook's a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez then. Brook's better than Canelo because Canelo couldn't do that. Canelo couldn't dominate Khan. Neither could anyone prior to Canelo, bar Prescott. No one could dominate Khan. So maybe Brook's better than everybody that Khan fought. Danny Garcia, Canelo Alvarez. He's better than Zab Judah. He's better than Devin Alexander. Kell Brook, Sugar Ray Leonard, basically. Kell Brook is Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, all of those guys put together. He's better than Muhammad Ali. He's better than Sugar Ray Leonard, according to his fans. That's how some of them view him. They come on my channel and speak about Kell Brook like he's Sugar Ray Leonard. That Khan wouldn't have been able to do this, that, or whatever. He's an accurate puncher, this, that. But this is a guy that went 12 rounds with Carson Jones. This is a guy that went 12 rounds with Michael Zarafa. This is a guy that went, got wobbled by Senchenko. They're quick to bring up the fact that Khan got dropped by Michael Gomez and that, but he got wobbled. His best win against Sean Porter, which was quite controversial. Sky Sports had him losing the fight, right? That Sean Porter drew against Julio Diaz, who Amir Khan beat. So the point I'm trying to make is we can go back and forth about this. I don't really care about how they would have done in their primes. If you think Kell Brook would have knocked Amir Khan out or knocked out cold or whatever, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I don't care about that. The fact is I'm talking about now. And now Amir Khan should not be fighting anymore. Neither should Kell Brook. If you want to push an agenda and you want to make Kell Brook's win against Amir Khan make like it was a great win and Amir Khan, Amir Khan was in his prime. That was the best Amir Khan we've ever seen that fought Kell Brook. I'll give Kell Brook credit. That wasn't a shot Amir Khan. That was Amir Khan in his prime that fought Kell Brook. And Kell Brook beat him. You want credit there? You got credit. That wasn't a shot Amir Khan. That was the Amir Khan in his prime. That was the best Amir Khan we've ever seen. Happy? Embarrassing. You can't even be honest with yourself and say that that was such a bad version of Amir Khan. I'm just saying what my eyes saw. I'm not saying anything, pushing a narrative or like some of you say. I'm saying what I saw in there. And what I saw in there was very difficult to watch. Not because of the fact that if Brook had beat him and it was a close fight and it was a fight where I could see that Khan was doing some bits and Brook just, fair enough. Brook was but this was one-sided. This was a drubbing. And the reason why it was a drubbing, because Amir Khan had none of his attributes. It had nothing to do with the fact that Kell Brook was great. Kell Brook was how Kell Brook was always. But Amir Khan wasn't how he was always. Kell Brook was more nearer his prime than Khan was near his prime. Was finished. Kell Brook's not anywhere near his prime, but he's more near his prime than what Khan was. I couldn't even recognize that was Amir Khan in there. Canelo Alvarez is a better pressure fighter than Kell Brook. He knows how to cut off the ring a lot better than Kell Brook. He couldn't get to Amir Khan the way Kell Brook was getting to Amir Khan. How? Everyone knows that Canelo is 20 times the fighter that Kell Brook is. 20 times the fighter. So how come Canelo had so much trouble, but yet Kell Brook just walked through him? Think about that. Oh, Kell Brook fights differently. Kell Brook's better than Canelo, isn't he? He's always been better than Canelo. Imran, what do you know? You're a casual. Canelo Alvarez Kell Brook's better than Canelo. Kell Brook's 20 times Danny Garcia. Kell Brook's this, that. A guy that went 12 rounds with Zarafa. A guy that went life and death with Carson Jones. A guy that went 12 rounds with Matthew Hatton. This is a guy that's supposed to be a Julian Jackson type puncher. Come on, man. Get out of here with all that nonsense. Kell Brook's a good fighter. He's not what some of you seem to think he is. He's a good fighter. Just like Khan was a good fighter. Some of you make out like, I don't know, like Kell Brook was, I don't know what he was. Like, you know, this is a guy that's best win is against Sean Porter. That's his best win at world level. In a close fight, like I said, which his own broadcaster had him losing. I think we need to stop getting carried away with the fact that he's had a win against Khan. That all of a sudden makes him out to be some kind of great or all-time great. No, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, Brook. He's not done much at world level because the win against Khan wasn't a world level win, was it? Was Khan, I ask you, was Khan a world level fighter? The one that you saw against Brook, was that a world level fighter? Let me tell you this. You know that Khan that we saw against Kell Brook? He gets knocked out in the first round against Danny Garcia. He gets knocked out in the first 2 rounds against Keith Thurman. You honestly think that Khan that we saw against Kell Brook goes any rounds with Keith Thurman? Or Danny Garcia? No chance. He went 6 with Kell Brook. And one of you said that, well, Kell Brook was about to knock Amir Khan out. Well, he hit him with about 1,000 shots. He never went down once. In 6 rounds, I don't know, Kell Brook must have hit him with about 100 flush shots on the chin. Khan was wobbling all over the place. He was all over the place. Never went down once. Not once. If I'm not mistaken, maybe you guys, did he go down once? Did the referee count him once? No. Never went down once in that fight. Yet Kell Brook must have hit him with so many clean shots. And this is why I don't want him to take the rematch, because the rematch is going to be one-sided and Kell Brook's going to do exactly the same thing as he did in the first fight. But because of the fact that Kell Brook's not really a big puncher, he's just going to keep hitting Amir Khan. And that's not healthy. That's not good. Amir Khan's had a very long career. He's had a very tough career. And I don't want to see him get hurt, you know. So this is more as a guy that's been a fan of his for so many years, you know. I don't really want to see him fight. Because I don't get that same pleasure that I used to when he fought the guys like Maidana, Zabjuda, Kotelnik. Because I used to see offensive ability. I used to see gifted offensive ability. I don't see that anymore. So I don't really want to see him just take punishment. That's not what I want to see. I want to see a highly competitive fight. And Kell Brook and Amir Khan at this point is not a competitive fight. It's a one-sided fight. Kell Brook will win that easily like he did the first time. So I don't see the purpose of a rematch. I think Kell Brook will get battered against Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn batters Kell Brook if they fight. I do. That's just what I see. The same way I think Kell Brook would batter Amir Khan in the rematch. Like I said, in the first fight, the reason why I wasn't sure, because I didn't know what either guy had left. I was going off logic and I picked Brook. The reason why I picked Brook in my prediction video is because of the fact that logic to me told me that Amir Khan has a young man style. And that style isn't going to age well. And Kell Brook's style is going to age much better. He's more fundamentally sound than Khan. Khan was, for me, more naturally gifted. And what I mean by that is Khan had attributes with his hand speed and foot speed that were elite. And he had great stamina, right? Brook was a well-rounded fighter. But as you get older, those gifts that you have start to diminish. Hand speed, foot speed, these type of gifts start to deteriorate very fast, right? And Amir Khan's not been somebody that's been living like a boxer for the last half a decade. You know, he's been doing a lot of celebrity stuff, and I don't know how in the gym he's been. And just because you come back and train for a fight hard, which he did, he trained really hard for that Brook fight, but it just wasn't there. So it doesn't matter how hard he trains. It doesn't matter how he trains. What he had when he was young, you're never going to see Amir Khan, the one that fought Maidana, ever again. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter who he hires. It doesn't matter who he gets in his corner. That Amir Khan is gone for good. So it doesn't matter what he does. You're never going to see that version of Khan again. Right? You're never going to see that version of Khan again. So I don't particularly want to see him get beat in this fight. I don't particularly want to see him get hurt. I don't see I don't see how he wins the fight. How does he beat Kell Brook? How does he beat, what can he do differently? He's not a big puncher. He's not got his speed. He's not got his movement. How's he going to beat Kell Brook at this point? He can't. You know, because Brook's just going to do what he did last time. Brook's, you know, although Brook's passed his best and he's shot as well, Brooks, like I said, still looks more closer to his prime than what Amir Khan did. And he against Crawford, Brook looked okay for the first couple rounds, but as soon as Crawford touched him, that's it, you know, he crumbled. But that's why I think Conor Benn will do the same thing, because Conor Benn's not going to be wobbling all over the place. His legs aren't completely shot. His legs are there. He's young, he's hungry. He's got a good chin like his dad had a good chin. He's fast, he's aggressive, he's explosive. So that's why I don't give Brook I don't give him any chance. I don't give him much chance against Conor Benn, just like I don't give Amir Khan any chance against Kell Brook. There's not anything to do with fanboy. This is just logic on what I see. I'm just being honest that I don't see. I'm not going to sit here and say I think Amir Khan wins the rematch. He doesn't win the rematch. It's not even a close fight in my opinion. Just like I don't think Kell Brook beats Conor Benn. I don't think it's a close fight. It's one-sided. That's my honest opinion about the fight. See, when I give my opinion, it's what I feel. Not because I'm a Khan fan or because I don't like Brook. No, I'm just telling you off the cuff what I feel. And for me, this is no good. I really hope that this rematch doesn't happen, because I've got a lot of respect for Amir Khan, man. He's been one of my sporting heroes from a very young, when I was young. I've been following this guy's career. And like I said, I just don't think he has what he used to have anymore. And it'd be very sad to see him get injured. And like I said, because of the fact that Brook's not a big puncher, he's just going to be taking punishment in there. He's just going to be taking serious punishment in there. All he's going to be doing is taking punishment, and he's going to be eating those shots. And that's the same thing that happened with Crawford. Because Crawford isn't a concussive knockout artist, right? Although Crawford has more explosive power than Brook, hence why he dropped Khan in the first round. Crawford isn't a big puncher either. And hence why Khan was taking a beating against Crawford as well, because he had nothing to offer. He was just getting battered. Right? I've never seen, prior to that Crawford fight, I've never seen Amir Khan get beaten up like that. The next time I saw it was against Kell Brook. And that wasn't because Crawford and Brook were so good. Well, Crawford is exceptional, right? But the thing is, the reason why we saw that is because Khan was totally finished. Because Canelo Alvarez is the best fighter in the world. Period. He's the best fighter in the world, right? And Khan had so much success against Canelo in that fight. He had literally zero success against, well, I wouldn't say zero. I would say he had more success against Crawford than he did against Brook, because he landed some good shots on Crawford. Against Brook, I didn't see anything, you know, so. And the reason why that is because his legs are gone. His legs, he can't move like he used to. So for me, this rematch will be very, very one-sided and brutal. And I don't want to see Amir Khan. Just like I said, I'm too much of a fan to want to go through that again, you know, and I know what's going to happen. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him fight again, to be honest. So I really hope that he lets Kell Brook get on with it. Let Kell Brook fight Conor Benn, or let Kell Brook fight Chris Eubank. Amir Khan's got nothing to prove. He's got nothing to prove to anybody. He's got nothing to prove. He's done what he's needed to do. Let Brook go and fight on. If Brook feels that he's still a world beater, let him go and fight Conor Benn. Let him go and fight Chris Eubank. So there's no need for Amir Khan to fight Kell Brook as far as I'm concerned. I feel like it doesn't do anything, even if he manages to pull off the upset and win. It doesn't do anything for his career. What does it do? Nothing. I don't want to see it, to be honest with you. I just want to see Amir Khan enjoy his life and be happy, and I just want to see him move on. There's many things for him to do outside of boxing where he can enjoy his life. I just think boxing's too tough a game now. He's 35 years of age. He's had a very tough career. He's had a lot of big names. He's had a lot of good wins on his career, Like I said, the reason why Brook probably feels hungry is because Brook hasn't had a lot of big wins. His best win is against Sean Porter, which was a long time ago. And then his recent win is against Amir Khan. But Amir Khan at the point was just a name. It wasn't a world level. That wasn't a world level win, was it? It's just a name. It's just a name. It's a name that was once a world level fighter, but no longer that guy anymore when he fought him. So apart from that, Brook's not really done a lot at world level, and that's the truth, right? Someone said to me, "Oh, Imran, Brook's always the better fighter. He's always been the better fighter." They never fought in their primes, so I don't know about that. One thing I can say is I know which fighter had the better career. You know which fighter had the better. You guys know which fighter had the better career. So I don't particularly, want to go back and forth with Brook fans, because some of them accuse you of being fanboys and accuse you of being this, that, and the other when they're that. You see, when I give my opinion is based on common sense, right? So when I picked Kell Brook to win, it was based on common sense. The fact that I'm picking Kell Brook to beat him in the rematch again is common sense. The fact that I'm picking Conor Benn to beat Kell Brook is common sense. It's just common sense, and like I said, I really hope this rematch doesn't happen. I'm not interested in it. I know what would happen if they fight. I feel like I saw the first fight was quite one-sided. I saw a clinical winner. I saw a guy that was the deserved winner in Brook. I don't really think it was quite conclusive. I don't think there was anything that I saw in there that made me believe that, there's merit for a rematch. And most importantly, will the fight even sell? Will it even sell? Is it even a big fight? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think the fight's that big. I don't think... Are people going to be interested in that after seeing that? I certainly don't have that interest. I'll watch it, of course. I'll watch it if it happens, but if you ask me now, I don't really want to see it. I don't really want to see it. Because I just feel like I don't see how Amir Khan can win that fight. So I really hope that these are rumors, and I really hope that, Amir Khan and Kell Brook doesn't happen. I don't want to see it. I don't really want to. I just want to see Amir Khan retire, or maybe have some exhibition fights in Saudi Arabia or something, But in terms of Kell Brook, I really hope that it doesn't happen, I really hope, because I think he's so past his best. He's not the fighter he once was. The fighter that I once enjoyed watching. I don't feel he's that man anymore. So that's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some fans disagreeing with what I have to say. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to agree with what I have to say. As long as you keep it respectful in the comments, I have no problem. As soon as the disrespect starts coming in, then that's when I have a bit of an issue. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.